Justice League Unlimited, released on November 27th of 2024. I was excited to get this comic as I was feeling the want to have another group title. This is written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora. Is it everything I hoped it was? Does it remind me back of the old cartoon Justice League Unlimited? Well, let's take a look at the comic and I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Beefy and this is Saturday Morning Comics.
Yay.
So here's a first look at the cover. I really enjoy it. I like the art so far. It gives me that feel of the old cartoon, which the cool thing about the old Justice League Unlimited cartoon was it had a lot of the superheroes that was beyond the big three, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. And I kind of get that feeling from this comic cover, and that's why I was drawn into ordering this one, because you got like Star Sapphire, you got the Atom, you got Captain Atom here, and Black Lightning over here. And so that's really what got me excited and drew me in. As far as the comic itself goes, you jump right into the action here in South Africa where something terrible has happened. And much like that cartoon that had a bunch of different superheroes, the idea behind this comic is that the Justice League, the Watchtower, has opened up and they are recruiting all the heroes from everywhere to kind of pool their resources. And as a promo to kind of promote this, if you had a local comic shop, they probably got some of these. So these are Justice League membership cards. So 1 week was Wonder Woman, 1 week was Superman, 1 week was Batman, and then to wrap it up to give the idea is you have this blank one here. So this would be for any of the lesser known superheroes. You know, if their talents are for whatever reason needed in a certain crisis, they could be called upon. So that's the idea behind this new Justice League comic. So other than seeing the crisis at hand at the beginning, you get a shot of this hero called Airwave, who's from Austin, Texas, and it's showing his ID card that's very reminiscent of this, and he's called up to the Watchtower. There's a funny little scene of Flash right here, speeding him around and giving him a tour, in which you get to see a lot of the characters. One of the ones I'm excited about is right there, Renee Montoya as the Question. But yeah, so speeds him around, and there's another event going on. So it deploys our superheroes down here at the bottom right. And you get some more action shots. The writing I feel like is pretty good. The artwork, I've been enjoying everything I've seen so far. The splash pages, everything have been looking good. And so we get here to this point, and this new character we've been introduced to, Airwave, is asking Red Tornado to put him in. Red Tornado is the character that's kind of coordinating all the different superhero groups as they send them out everywhere. And he's saying, you're not really relevant to the mission, meaning his powers aren't needed currently. We get a shot of something else going on, and it's the Blue Beetle and Batman. And we get back to Star Sapphire, and this person right here is mortally wounded, and calling out a name. Starfire says that she could heal him, but she needs the one that he loves, and how can they find him? Well, that's where our new recruit, Airwave, has an idea, and he says phones, because he can manipulate the airwaves. Basically, they find his love and get him back in time down here to save a life. We then get a shot over here of the Inferno, as they call themselves. And they hope to dominate the Earth. So my guess is that's where this series is going, to follow them. And Batman and Beetle have their own thing going on. And we end the comic with the shot of Airwave, who is crying. He's like, they were so nice to me and stuff. And there's a few other lines of dialogue. And there's a little surprise at the end, and I won't flip to it to spoil it in case there is anything in here that makes you want to read the comic. So I'll leave a little bit of that for you. But that overall is the quick look at this comic. I really enjoyed it. The ending I thought was good. It definitely interested me in more. The artwork, like I said, is good. Seeing all the other heroes that you don't typically see, I think is going to be fun. This comic had a real fast feel to it, which is kind of good for a superhero group book, in my opinion. I also think it'll lend well to kind of like how we saw a little bit of Batman and Beetle going on, and we saw Superman Starfire over here. I think that will leave it where I hope that doesn't mean there's many lulls in the comic, that it's a lot of action, and you can kind of build two stories at once by having all of these groups out there in the DC universe doing their thing. So, Justice League Unlimited #1. Would I recommend this comic? Well, I'm going to say yes, but with a little bit of a caveat. So, it is written by Mark Waid, and recently there was an election, and it didn't go how Mark Waid wanted. So, basically, he said something to the extent that if my writing or quality of work goes down, this is going to be the point that happens. Which, whether or not you loved or hated how the election went, that's for you to feel one way or the other. What I don't like is the fact that he's basically setting himself up to say, hey, I'm going to start phoning it in. So as far as the comic itself, I really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to 2 and 3 in that regard. However, with his comment that he made on that just makes me think that the quality of the book is going to go down quickly. So I'll be honest with you, I haven't ordered more than what I have ordered before he made that comment. So the way ordering comics work at local comic shops is you usually order 2 months in advance. So I'm all in for at least 3 comics. Now, if it still is good and intriguing as this first issue was, I'll probably continue to pick it up. I just find it a little sad that you would have a creator that would basically do something like that, because if other people let things like elections affect their work, I have family who works in the healthcare field, and if they let something like that affect their work, people could die. Now, granted, comic books are not serious like that. However, they aren't a necessity. So if I have a feeling that you aren't going to be putting in your all to making this product to help, take me out of the stressors of life, why should I spend my $4 when I know there's another comic that costs $4 that I could easily spend my money on, who is putting their everything into that work? So I'll leave it up to you as to whether or not you think it's worth getting. If I just go by the comic itself, there was nothing in it I disliked or found wrong with it. But let me know what you think in the comments. And that's it for today. I want to thank you for stopping by. Now go grab and read a comic and have a great rest of your day.